When you have shoulder pain, how do you know what type of doctor you should see, what the potential problem is, and what the potential solution or treatment to that problem is? There are a few things that you can do at home in order to start to determine where your pain is coming from. The first thing that you want to do is check your range of motion. Your range of motion should show that your bicep touches your ear with relative ease. Overhead, just like you did that. It's pretty good. Come on down. If you don't have good range of motion, the first thing to know is you just need to have good range of motion. And there are several causes for what might cause that pain. The first one is usually something called adhesion. It's the most common problem in the musculoskeletal system that no one talks about, and it's very easily removed. When you do that range of motion, if you have pain towards the end range of motion and it's tight and restricted, in other words, your range isn't full, it's very likely that you have significant adhesion. Other than adhesion, one common issue that people have, especially as they approach their 40s and 50s and they're very active with shoulder-based exercises, is muscle tears. You can test this out at home with a friend by putting your shoulder in different positions and having your body contract against resistance. So it would look like this. This is called the empty beer can test. He's just gonna hold it here and I'm just gonna push down. If he has pain, it's likely that he needs an arthrogram. If he doesn't, he's probably clean. Then you could bring his arm out to 90 degrees and just hold here. And again, just push down with some resistance. Same thing. And lastly, you can check, go ahead and relax, the bicep by putting his arm in the bicep curl position and don't letting him move. Hold here. Same thing. If he has pain with any of these, it's likely he may need an arthrogram. If it's clean, then the tear comes off our list of potential problems that's there. The other potential problem that he could have is a joint, cartilage, or labrum issue. This would come, go ahead and relax your arm. As he's bringing his arm overhead, he would have pain in the middle of the range of motion, and he might even have to move his shoulder funny before he brings it overhead. Highly suggestive of a joint problem. Or you could bring him into this range where none of his muscles are pulling tight or at the end range. And then passively, he's not doing this, you're doing it for him, bring his arm into external and then internal rotation. If he has pain with this range at all, it's likely that he has a joint, labrum, cartilage issue. So the first thing to do in recap is to check the range of motion, see if it's full. If it's full, then there's likely no adhesion, and if there's significant pain, it's likely a joint problem. So you need an arthrogram. But then you can do the muscle tear tests, contracting the muscles, and also the joint tests, basically screwing and unscrewing the joint in this range of motion where the muscles aren't pulled to their end range. So that rules out any muscle problems. And then it will help you determine if you should see an adhesion specialist to remove the adhesion, or if you go get an arthrogram to see if there's anything worse going on underneath the hood. So go ahead and try those tests and see if you can start to pinpoint where your shoulder pain is coming from.